Representative Konopnicki.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to explain my vote.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I've been relatively quiet today in terms of this enlightening discussion, and I just want to remind myself that I spent 10 years as a professional educator and 12 years on a school board. Education is a priority to me as it is to every member of this body. And I can't think of any better word to say we ought to be embarrassed about what's happened here today. This is really sad. We have an opportunity to do some things that can help, and we've turned it into a partisan issue. And I would hasten to point out that the last budget in June that was voted on was not done in the open. It was done by the minority with a few other members. I'm not being critical of the fact that they did it, but the history and the track record of those who stand up today and say, oh, I voted against the largest cut to education ever in the state of history of Arizona, were the same folks that when they were driving the car last year and we were looking at the budget and all the red lights were on, said, no, we're going to keep driving, we're going to wait till this damn thing stops. And it has stopped. We're $3 billion in the hole. And we need some help. And it's time to quit being partisan, and it's time to work together. It's time to stop the chatter. It's time to stop pointing fingers at each other. It's time to say the citizens of the state of Arizona who we're interested in, the children in this state are who we're interested in. We have to make some tough decisions, $3 billion worth of tough decisions. And we have to work together to be able to do that. This bill, quite simply, extends the date to when teachers need to be noticed. And I just would tell you this. Representative Brown and I represent the largest number of school districts of any district here. They're all rural, and by metropolitan standards, they're small. They are going to be hurt the worst. It's already been explained. And again, I'm embarrassed that you're even standing here talking about this. I see my colleagues are ready to make some comments about what I'm saying, and that'll be just fine. But I will just tell you this. If we can't agree to extend the date to allow school districts to do this in a responsible way, shame on us. If we can't help rural districts protect their teachers, shame on us. And finally, I just think it's really unfair to say that we can make this decision when, and I'm not being critical of anybody, the stimulus packages come out, there are earmarks in there for education. We know there should be $1 billion in education. We don't know how that money is going to be spent, how it will help, and in some cases, I'm told, may hurt some of our efforts in education. We owe it to ourselves to know the answers to those things. We owe it to these local school boards to let them have the answers to these questions. And finally, just as one person to another, can't we please put the differences aside and work together? The history of the other side has been quite clear. When you have a chance, you won't work with us, and then you want to sit around and throw darts at us. Let's put history behind us. Let's work together. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I vote aye.